So I just got done filming my something about goth video where I have to announce wearing one of my most gothic blouses. I see a Dr. Pepper shirt over that I am no longer allowed to be goth because it ended with my time period as emo. So the history of it is that I'm an emo. It was an emo style I was in love with. I have multiple personality disorder, so I have what you think is wrong with Sybil and dissociative Jess on YouTube. I have those disorders, and each time period, I go by a different name and persona, and then they, in the end, become introjects and pseudo originals that fill my main persona, where I was Jaden Emo Angel, and I was Adam Snowflake, and I was Luke Vlogs. The history of all of that is that I make a lot of blackout content I don't exactly get to see, where I'm kind of mourning the burial of Adam Snowflake as my split personality because he got to stay goth. Where if he stays a split personality, he gets to keep goth. And it's why I now update in all time periods before my naming ceremony to Luke Costella. My mom has to give me a naming ceremony. It's around the God talk about paganry and cults and Jesus and me being a Jesus freak. And the history is I'm not going to get religious on you, despite Adam is the same media now known to be on my channel because of my 24-hour live stream for stalkers and stuff and people who just want to keep up with me. No, those are not the real numbers or security codes or passwords to my account. I do give out the password to my account, and in all versions of my take, including Birthday 25, I heard password to my account, even though I gave it out, people can't spell it, and it's an ameliorated password that only I can say, but this is the kind of thing I wore every day. I loved goth, but if it leaves emo, I don't leave it, but I don't wear it every day anymore. And I wear it as pieces now. And because I wasn't kicked out of goth, I was welcome to stay. The history is goth keeps my inventions in Masiki, but because it left emo, it's not allowed to look like a lot of the stuff I loved in it. And it stays in time period only, which is going to be stoner at the end of this time period, which I know out of order because I stay a stoner. I just don't wear it anymore. And I don't stay a goth because the history of the two groups is that stoner is a mentality and a philosophy like punk and Nazi, where Nazi never leaves emo. I just can't wear it every day outside the time period for it having an extended group, which is this time period as New Year Neverland. It's so good we still get Nazi shops. When it became emo only, I wasn't allowed to keep wearing it. In a big reversal of this process, fiddling on my blankie. It's my whistle tick that's about to go away because I've stopped the predatory medicine that caused it. But it's still in my system as long as I'm taking those pills. And like the history is, my entire life's out of order. I've already done Jaden and Adam from my perspective as Luke Costella. In this time period, Jaden came first and was the first male name after Zachary. And it started transgender and autistic. And it started with her believing me about my medicine and having phases she didn't, and phases she forced me on medicine as my mother, with her starting Susan Cohen. So the history of Mary as my mom is that she has many different personas. She's permanently Mary. Just like the demon Zeus of Mormons is permanently Zeus. Where it's just a lot of things. Where I stay Adam Harper on Facebook. Facebook is a really old way to reach me, and it's a way I connect with my parasocial relationship. Where when I delete an account on Facebook, it's time to know me in person, or I swear you off because of the creepy stuff you posted to Facebook. Where I'm not Facebook friends with most people that I keep in contact with. And the history is when I'm in Facebook, you're using a site from Galatee. I'm using a site from Galatee. It's all going to be time traveled on Galatee's loops. And it's just kind of weird because I'm a skinhead forever who doesn't wear skinhead anymore after this time period, or not see every day after this time period because it lost its extended group. And sorry, I'm slurring my words because of my medicine. And when that happened to skinhead and Nazi, because Nazi and skinhead is what you think punk is a diaper fetish. The fact that you mistook punk as the spiky leather jackets and mohawks is so known to be skinhead. And if you'd agree, those guys going, yeah, fuck the police at the metal listening to Sum 41 are not going to harm anyone, you agree that it's to skinhead, which is still just dark fetishes. The history is punk is not to dark fetishes, punk is to diaper fetish. So punk is things like age regression and piss play, and scatology is a huge one you have to be X later to keep punk in, but you have to start with. And so the history is and there's only one religion you can worship through punk, and that's cult of skinhead. Where to follow a cult doctrine, you don't usually join the cult. You usually just agree with its beliefs and worship through it, following the doctrine, which is not really well known, but is known in fandom, which is like really important with me doing this on my hand. Where permanently, this is my hand tattoo that Adam saw himself have every day. This is not what Adam's hand tattoo really looks like as me. This is totally what it looked like in this time period, and I don't redo my tattoos. Each one is a one-off Danif that my altar keeps forever, with me getting a swastika on my ankle soon. But oh my god, when Nazi lost its extended group, it became something very special, but it stays an emo fandom to that streaming service, and it stays hard to find, and Stoner chose to lose its extended group after this time period, so I won't be able to wear stoner every day, but I'll stay a stoner because it's a philosophy. I'll stay a Nazi because it's a mentality. I'll stay a skinhead, but I won't wear skinhead every day, and I'll wear it for shows and pieces. And the history is the groups cut me off from them in that way from Masiki votes. All of them are the older version of the death game Masiki, with Rudin Jaka and Mars Argo's sentence and Love Handle, not the voting systems of this time period. It was the African slave trade that stole it from me, where I would just love to stay a goth. I would love to keep the clothes. The clothes are now no longer made by like anyone but 5 shops ever. And no offense, I'm an emo who shops at Standard Cowardly, Blockbuster, Torrid, The Gap, and Hot Topic. With most emos as varied as me, shopping at a lot of off brands. It's so good you like Vampire Freaks. Oh my god, with that price point they ended up keeping, do I not shop at Vampire Freaks? I get like one outfit from them on occasion that I can't turn down, with that never improving, and I go there on special occasions with a cult. It is so good that they stayed emo in Galate and were one of your like 7 options with whatever happened to Bloom Chic's original model. But oh my god, were they not like that? Because I'm only one group and I'm emo, and you took emo away from it. Or you made it exclusive to emo in a way that killed it. And Nazi's just not allowed an extended group outside this time period if that's what the rallies look like. If they look like James Charles and they look like Daniel Ozzie and they look like what should have happened to Jake Paul, with like the crazy fire and stuff, then it doesn't stay around. And I just can't interact with Goth's community in Galate when it had its own time period. With this, a time period of stoner. So my split personality that Luke Costello will end up being will permanently stay a stoner and be a stoner. And I'll keep stoner, but I won't keep the clothes. And I'll stay a hippie because hippies in all time periods. But oh my god, it never lost its extended group, learning from this exact video when it was time for their Masiki vote. You take away its extended group, the thing dies. That's what happened to Stoner. And Stoner stays what hippie should have. And I am happy to have new wardrobes and buy from goth shops, but it's all like re-airings of Galate. And it's just so frustrating that I can't stay goth because it died in time period and it's just no longer made. Goth with color is now halfway a cut in like all emo clothes, and that's what I keeping the cut. Like the history is I keep the cut, I don't keep the clothes. And I wanted to, where I'm now mourning Adam Snowflake, where I built a shrine to one of my stalkers. Sorry, I built a burial ground to one of my stalkers who's brand new, whose YouTube content I'm watching. I just really want her to be emo because she designed her dream New York City apartment and I watch her content and I was like, your content is so good. It's hard for me to watch non-emos. I hope you turn emo. Where Standing Cowardly is our first ever second emo shop. That is not like something else catering to emo. That is not an off brand. We have our second ever emo shop besides Hot Topic. It's called Standing Cowardly, and it's a shrine to Adam Yuki as ex Felicity Smoke because her shrines are required to be sexual, not allowed to have emo, even though it was built for her. It was given to Adam Yuki. Sorry, Adam Snowflake, not Adam Yuki. And Adam Snowflake is my altar now, finally receiving credit after credit after credit in like a dramatic way where I won a lawsuit for the war on drugs. Drugs are illegal most time periods, but illegal this quantum outside of New Year Neverland. So drugs are permanently legal outside of this quantum, which is 12 eons together. They're permanently legal. The history is for 12 whole eternities, Samantha Rose Cohen won drugs and pharmacies illegal as mental health. It's just not allowed to have an industry outside of New Year Neverland, period. But like drugs as recreational use are permanently legal with things like weed outside of New Year Neverland, but weed stays in New Year Neverland with arcades. And some things are just going to be time period centric because stoner was around. Where I'm going to be a stoner in philosophy, period. But I'm going to be a stoner wearing the clothes for as long as the clothes are available. And I still knew that would be the case with goth. And I still chose to like limit my wardrobe to goth. I shop at Webtoon forever, the off-brand goth shop that was really late to the party. I permanently buy Webtoon in her universe and Torrid. I know their goth is hippie. I know it's goth pieces I'm wearing. I miss what it was and what it was allowed to be, as it stays only in time period. And Adam Snowflake as my split personality will stay goth, with me also uploading my ballpoints, which were a very similar video, but a very different video. With my ballpoints actually only Luke's personal channel, but he looked like me in the video because it was before our face changed as Luke, where Luke happened before Jaden. So this is like before transgender and before Brian, where Brian happened immediately after Jaden, with me just so out of order with Morgan and my mom as time travel. But Adam Snowflake permanently shaved his eyebrows, and I'm now gonna get mine done. So I think that's the difference in personality because I'm just sick of shaving them, and like the history of it is that Adam Snowflake stopped wearing wigs and never did his nails, and I'm gonna now do that. Where I have a she, her pronoun this whole entire eon, but please call me he, him in my comments and on my videos as Luke Costella. And when you describe me to transgender men, please use he, him pronouns or you're greatly misgendering me. So the history is I go by she, her as like the Lover Girl 5, but my username stays Brain Cake. And Brain Cake will stay my ballpoints that my channel has always been outside of my outfits. With me, blonde hair and blue-eyed has Adam the whole time, which is now an older Brain Cake content. But oh my god, am I gonna mourn you, Adam? You got to keep goth as my split.